What does every douche tuber have in common besides a micro penis? Energy. That's right. You see, the douche tuber species has learned that in order to keep the attention of children, they have to jingle keys in front of them constantly. They have to pop out a titty that's full of milk for them to suckle on, and it's a very high energy titty they need to present. Thus, they always put on a fake persona, and you get those real crazy wild intros, the "What's going on, fam squad? Today we're doing the try not to call Thanos at 3 a.m. challenge and come in our pants. Are you ready, bitch boy? I'm ready, shit boy. Let's get into it. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Yeehaw, whoa, 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 whoa." That's why you always end up with that shit, because children like the energy. They feed off it. But what happens when the douche tubers have no energy and are very boring? Let's find out. I just want to quickly say this warning has never held less meaning than it does on this video. This is another pause challenge. This is from the Martinez twins, and the most extreme stunt they do here is shoot water from a hose in their face. It's not exactly the most dangerous and daring Evel Knievel stunts. It's not like they're trained to take water from a hose to the face. It's just not that fucking big of a deal. I don't think they needed the warning. Some real edge-of-your-seat action there to start this shit off here. I mean, he comes out of the bathroom looking like a fucking Gryffindor recruit at Hogwarts, and then he comes out of the closet looking like a standard douche tuber. But what's missing here is any energy at all, or effort, really. It's super weird. This comes across as like a really bad scene in an indie movie. This almost looks like a Neil Breen scene, honestly. There's nothing happening, there's no reason for it. This could have totally just been edited out and they could just say, hey, let's go ahead and start this. But instead, they take 20 seconds to show him going in the bathroom, you know, jerking off real quick, coming out, and then changed. What's the point?
Okay, I'm ready. You see me? I'm ready. Ready to go. First of all, we gotta wake up my brother, so we should go.
It honestly never occurred to me just how important that royalty-free background music is to douchebags' YouTube videos, because you notice he doesn't use anything, it's just completely quiet and him talking at it, and it's so uncomfortable. It's like the start of snuff video, or like poorly acted porn. And when you don't have that background music in there, it just really highlights how fake your energy is, and it really just makes it seem so fucking weird. This intro should serve as a PSA to up-and-coming assholes to make sure you have some music in there.
You wanna wake up everyone? Yeah, bro. Hi.
Hi.
Oh.
Now these two were part of Jake Paul's Team 10 at one point, but they split off to do their own douchebag videos, but they're not very good at it. Like, watching their videos is like watching a Snapchat story, but with even less energy.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think it's dope.
Hey, welcome to Starbucks. I just want an iced vanilla latte with some milk. And where you looking at? I want a cookie. My name is...
I honestly have no fucking clue what that little skit was right there, but it seemed like something right out of Tommy Wiseau's The Room. I don't understand what that was. I think it was them trying to like voice act what happened when they went into Starbucks, but I honestly have no idea what that fucking disaster was. It was a beautiful piece, honestly probably directed by Neil Breen himself there, and probably the best part of the video, really.
Morning routine every single day. We go to Starbucks. We eat sandwich and we drink coffee.
Who gives a shit about your morning routine?
Ivan, pose.
Pose. Are you okay?
Yeah.
I take back what I said at the beginning of the videos. That stunt right there is definitely something you shouldn't try at home. They do seem like trained professionals when it comes to dumping water on each other. So honestly, I could see why the warning's there now. I like that he checks to make sure his brother's okay, because that really did seem like it could have fucking obliterated him.
What's up, man?
Yo, what up?
What are you doing?
Taking care of the... No.
Pause.
Stop.
Bro!
Taking care of what? You're just making mud pies. This man just standing out here with the garden hose spraying dirt with water. Yeah, you're working real hard over there. Truly trained professionals don't try this shit at home.
Oh my god.
This pause challenge is getting wild. Some gut-busting, side-splitting comedy by spraying his brother with a hose right into busting up some AirPods. Honestly, the AirPods thing, I'd say he was doing him a favor. Fuck that shit, stick with the cord. You goddamn turbo virgins using AirPods, I just don't see the point. You can like what you want to like, alright? I just don't give a shit about that kind of wireless headphone mumbo-jumbo hocus pocus. I prefer the cord. And, well, back to the pause challenge.
Good. I'm feeling good. Sorry. Pause.
It's been twice in a day.
Wait, don't worry. Pause. Pause.
Now this one does look like an unironically dangerous stunt right here. He is benching some fat fucking weight there. That looks like it might be pushing 40 pounds. So making him pause like that, there's only so much the human muscles can take. It's gonna give out and destroy his sternum if he keeps him paused for too long. I fucking love the weights on here. Where did he find these weights? At Whole Foods or some shit? Where do you even find weights that look like these? This looks like a toy weight set that a child would have. You know, like my toddler's first bodybuilding set, my toddler's first gym, my toddler's first CrossFit trip. I don't understand this. I have to know how much that shit weighs. It can't be more than 2.5 pounds. It looks like it's made out of fucking Play-Doh.
Stop. Bro.
Yo, this is crazy.
Okay, let me pose that.
It's very clear every douchebag on YouTube is connected in one way or another, because when they do these challenges, they always do kind of the same thing. Every pause challenge has the pantsing in public, and a lot of other similar things. It's just like this interconnected web of assholes. You know, it's like asshole to asshole, like Requiem of a Dream style. Like they just suction cup to each other, and it's sickening. Like, at least be creative with your douchebaggery. Like, at least, you know, come up with your own ideas with it.
And I hope you like. I hope you guys like this video. Give it a big
So.
thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Yeah,
Wait.
No.
Yeah, so that wraps up that exhilarating pause challenge. I thought this was just super weird that they wouldn't just do the most basic shit that they all do by having wacky sound effects and the background music and stuff, and they very clearly fake their energy and then at times don't even bother faking energy, just have it completely monotone. It's super different from most douche tubers. Like, they're breaking ground here. They're going against the grain, and I just thought it was an interesting little video to look at here. So that's what happens when there's no energy in the douche tubing. See ya. There's no profession less respected nor more meaningless than influencers. The fucking people that clean up cum from porn sets are more respected in the professional world. The two dudes that make the liquid ass spray have a more valuable contribution than the influencer's content. The term influencer has such a negative connotation to it, it just becomes synonymous with narcissistic asshole and giant douchebag. When most people hear the word influencer, they immediately think of those Instagram marketing cyborgs that look like they're human, but they're actually just ventriloquist dummies for companies to stick their hand up their asshole and make them talk about products, every single post being a sponsored advertisement. But I imagine very few people think of cold-blooded killers in this kind of profession. But today I'm going to tell you about a man, nay, greater, an influencer, who took a very dark path when his ego lost control. Today I learned about a man named Rossi Adams, who was sentenced to 14 years in prison for attempting to murder a man over a domain name. So Rossi Adams owned the popular Instagram account Do It For The State or State Snaps. I'm really not sure. He had like 1,000 different accounts. This dude had more fucking accounts than World of Warcraft gold farmers. And he accumulated over 1 million followers. And the content was just amateur porn from college students. And he recycled it across all these accounts constantly. And he had a website called doitforthestate.com. But he didn't like it because it was do it for, the number 4, thestate.com. But he wanted do it for, F-O-R, thestate.com. Really petty shit, but to him, this was the Gordian knot that needed to be cut. If he could get that domain name, this would launch him in the same playing field as the greats such as Elon Musk and Steve Jobs. This was going to be his magnum opus, if only he could get that damn domain name. But unfortunately, it was held by a different man. And this wasn't just any man. This was a guy born with bulletproof skin. I swear to God, they must have broken into fucking 50 Cent's house for this domain name. I'll get to that in a second, but just to paint the scene, from 2015 to 2017, he was in negotiations with the doitforthestate.com thestate.com domain holder to try and buy it from him, which he didn't want to budge. He didn't want to give it to him. He did at one point say he'll sell it to him for $20,000, but Rossi Adams declined, saying it was too high. So when his desperation finally hit its melting point, he hatched a scheme, Ocean's 11 style, but with none of the actual thought process behind it. His plan was to hire his cousin, who was a convicted criminal, to go to the guy's house and scare him or murder him into giving him the domain. Now, on June of 2017, his cousin Sherman goes to the guy's house in Iowa. They tracked him down, they found his house. Sherman goes into the house and starts pistol whipping the man until he's ready to budge on the domain. The man never budged. I don't know who the fuck's house this was. I don't know who owns DoItForTheState.com. Maybe it's fucking Jack Bauer from 24. I don't know. Dude's getting pistol whipped, still doesn't budge. Wasn't giving away the domain name. So Sherman shot him in the leg. And this is when he went a little too far. He bit off more than he could chew on this one. The condom was a little too big for this penis, because when he shot him in the leg, the domain holder lashed out, wrestled the gun away from Sherman, and shot Sherman in the chest multiple times before calling the police. The police get there, both men survive. Sherman is now getting 20 years in prison, and Rossi Adams 14 years for the conspiracy here to commit this crime. That is fucking hardcore. I tried to visit that website because I thought it might put like a little extra hair on my chest, make me a little taller, my muscles bigger or something after this kind of story attributed to its fucking securing of the domain. But unfortunately, when I try to go to DoItForTheState.com, it just brings me to GoDaddy. So I'm guessing it means he's not using it, which is just a fucking disservice to the world. To the brave fucking bulletproof man who owns DoItForTheState.com, do something with it. You went to war over that shit. You fucking bled for that. You shot men for that website. Fucking use it for something now, man. God damn. I've got to see what he's going to cook up for this website. It's got to be big plans. This could be the next Apple, for God's sakes. My God, what a story behind that. Such an innocent sounding domain name. Obviously, he's probably just a domain squatter, which is very possible, but let's hope for this one exception, he'll turn it into something great. Incredible, though. This just goes to show how some influencers' ego is just truly out of control, where they feel they're entitled to things that they're absolutely not entitled to, and it shows a scary side of them. I think that's the lesson to take away from that behavior. And if you don't believe me about some of these people being psychopaths, just go look no further than the American Influencer Awards. Those just happened like a month ago. I have never seen a group of more narcissistic, deplorable degenerates than I have watching the American Influencer Award. It is 4 hours worth of them just sucking each other's assholes, and it's pathetic. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with considering yourself an influencer, though if you're going around calling yourself an influencer, you're probably not a lot of fun to be around in the first place. But I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that kind of identity, you taking on that kind of identity. But please, stop being like these kind of awful people. No one wants to have the term influencer shoved so far down their throat that they're just unable to breathe. And I think that's what it's becoming, which is why people have such a negative view of influencers and view that whole profession as just incredibly toxic. That's all. I just really wanted to share this story here and talk about influencers in general, I suppose. That's about it. So yeah. The world is still being bent over and spanked by the coronavirus pandemic, but today I want to focus on an equally large and growing disease. This is one I don't believe the WHO has recognized as a pandemic yet, but it's not far off, I imagine. It's called clout chasing. We've talked about this before when I mentioned the YouTuber who was making out with his dog for internet points. There was also the man who was executed by his girlfriend at point blank range with a Desert Eagle because it was supposed to be a viral video for internet clout. This shit is wild. People are dying, people are becoming dumber, all in the pursuit of internet clout. It's an ailment that's mainly afflicting the youth because a lot of the younger generation just has their entire lives online. They just exist in the cyberspace. So they're trying to emulate YouTubers even though they only see a weekly prank video from them, so they're trying to live their life like that. They'll get all of their social information from Twitter and Reddit, so these younger people are literally being trained to be losers. Their father figure will be some Reddit shitposter named 2Beans1Cream who's giving him advice on the Red Pill subreddit. It's sad shit. These people view internet clout as like this holy grail, this elixir, near panacea, that once you achieve enough internet clout, everything is perfect in your life and you're totally healed and fulfilled. You could be the saddest, most greased up loser, but if you have enough internet clout, you're perfect. That's at least the belief that a lot of people have, which is why some so desperately dedicate their lives to getting imaginary internet points and clout. Today we're going to talk about one such person. Her name is Ava, and she is most well known for the coronavirus challenge that she started. I'm sure that video isn't new to any of you. You've probably all seen it by now, and if you've been on the internet for a long time, it's also not surprising or shocking that someone would do that. It's kind of like Goatse. When I was young, Goatse was like the craziest shit. Like, that's something that would make you like fucking close your eyes, puke, and just go wild. Like, oh, I can't believe I just saw that. And now all of a sudden, Goatse, it's like almost safe for work content. Like, you could have Goatse as a Twitter profile picture and no one would bat an eye. It's still just sad to see someone stoop that low just for a crumb of attention, just a tiny morsel of internet clout that they can try and sink their little teeth into. It's just pathetic stuff. As you can imagine, spoiler alert, the attention was so ephemeral that no one even knows her name, which is good. So the only thing people know from, or remember her for, her legacy for the rest of her life, is just going to be the fucking idiot that tasted 1,000 dirty buttholes on a plane by licking a toilet seat. That's not exactly the coolest legacy to have, I imagine, but hopefully the 2 days worth of attention was enough. The reason why I'm even bringing this up now is because I'm seeing a lot of this on Twitter especially. I've seen a couple people licking toilet seats. One of them, I believe, got arrested and the Twitter account banned. So she did actually start some shit to try and influence people to doing some dumb shit for coronavirus pranks, challenges, whatever. So I figured I'd use her as the example here to talk about just how shitty clout chasing is and what a waste of time and life it is to pursue imaginary numbers on the internet. So let's show you a little bit more from Ava.
Hi to all of you stupid skanks who know that I still don't fucking have corona. I have something though, because I think I'm coming down with something, because I just feel so hot, rich, and iconic, and if those are the symptoms of something, then bitch, I'm ill!
A real zinger from Ava there, as she continues her mission to be the most unlikable person on the internet. This is her most recent life update posted on her YouTube channel of 6,000 subs. Not the smallest number in the world, but not exactly knocking on the door to being famous, so her little clout chasing stunt didn't really pan out the results she was looking for. She tries to pull off this pseudo-ironic, sarcastic approach to everything she does and says, you know, rich, famous, and iconic. But she doesn't do it well. It just makes you dislike her even more, because she's very clearly not self-aware enough to get the joke or make it into a joke. She herself is the joke, and she just makes it clear she wants to continue to be the punching bag as long as it gets her any kind of attention, which is just super sad.
Sweaty cottage cheese ass not leaving the couch. So yeah, he's been coming over and piping me this whole quarantine. The only thing about quarantine that's making me upset is I can't go get Botox, but otherwise I'm really happy because all the restaurants are closed, so I'm getting super skinny. That's all I want to say. Bye.
It's hard to find even a single quality to admire about Ava. Her approach to pretty much anything she does is perhaps one of the worst approaches you could take. She's been on Dr. Phil 3 times, the most recent one obviously being about the Corona Challenge shit. Ava, this part's for you. You've been on Dr. Phil 3 times and your shit is still not blowing up. Why the fuck are you still trying? Internet clout is clearly not in your future. It's not in the cards for you. Dr. Phil is like the one direction for the internet. Anyone on the internet that associates with Dr. Phil blows the fuck up. Except for you. You are the outlier. The shit you say and the way you conduct yourself is so unlikable that not even Dr. Phil could accidentally find you an audience. So stop being an asshole. Let's take a look at the Dr. Phil clip.
You then went to spring break and hung out on the beach with a bunch of people.
I was fine. I made out with a bunch of people. I was not hygienic. I acted like a degenerate. My immune system was down from all the drinking and drugs. And I should have coronavirus, but I don't.
Yeah, there's just no justice in the world. She didn't get coronavirus, but I'm pretty confident in saying someone around her most likely did, and I just really hope it wasn't someone of the older demographic and susceptible to it.
And they pick up your germs. You're putting their life at danger so you can entertain yourself, and that is ridiculously selfish and ridiculously irresponsible so you can have 15 minutes of fame.
Well, that's their problem, first of all. Not mine.
When I first heard this segment, I was actually convinced she was just an actress that Dr. Phil hired just to get some easy ratings or views or something. But as it turns out, this is real. This is her being genuine. She's just actually this stupid. So she's honest at least. You can say a lot of things about Ava, but let it not be said that she's shy. Because she's not afraid to come out here and show the world how dumb she is. She has no shame.
It's not their problem. You're the one that's doing it.
No, you know what's ridiculously irresponsible and selfish is that your generation only cares about this virus because it affects you. No one cares when it affects younger people. They just say it's our fault. You guys are the ones dying of it, not us.
Just an outright wrong statement, which isn't surprising because I'm pretty sure she's illiterate. Everyone's being affected by it and young people are dying from it. So, I mean, it's just wrong and she's just, again, wrong. But she does have an attitude that I've seen a lot of people on Twitter have, at least, where it's just all about themselves and just whatever kind of joy they can give themselves and just throwing caution to the wind. They don't give a fuck about anyone else. And I think that shit sucks. I think that's a terrible mindset to have.
It affects boomers. If it affects young people, you guys just find a way to blame us. But yet this pandemic's affecting all of you, so you're locking everyone down and instilling fear globally.
Young people are dying from this as well. Do you even know how to spell science?
Dr. Phil had the same hunch I did, and I think that's extremely cute.
Duh. I'm a senior at Rutgers, and now I don't get to graduate. I mean, nothing's happening, which is fine. Like, it's not like I really went to class. This whole thing's a joke. Like.
So you think this is all a hoax created by Twitter? That's what you're saying?
I think, yeah. Well, one clout started this virus. A bunch of girls in China started eating exotic animals for views on YouTube, and I know for a fact that those bats probably do not taste good. They just wanted to shock people. And like, I get it because I'm a clout chaser myself. So this started a pandemic.
During that whole little codename Kids Next Door monologue she goes on there, I felt like it was scripted. I felt like it was just a joke put together by Dr. Phil, you know, just to farm a little bit of controversy. And I just, you know, snap my fingers and say, you got me good on that one, Dr. Phil-a-Rooney. I've been had. But again, I looked into her, and from everything I've seen, this is just her. That is how she acts, behaves, believes. That is genuinely her whole personality she put on display right there. Which made me real sad, because I thought as like a piece of reality TV, like make-believe, I thought it was pretty entertaining. But the fact that there are people that think like her, and there are people that support her, they're not super hard to find. They're very few in number, but there's a few. I think that shit sucks. I think that shit's terrible. Now, for the coronavirus challenge prank, she did clarify on Dr. Phil, it wasn't a public plane toilet seat. She said it was her sugar daddy's private plane that she bleached and then licked. I don't know how true that is, but I mean, it's neither here nor there. It's just the desperation of it alone is enough to be just truly pitiful. But anyway, I think Ava is just the poster child for what clout chasing does to someone. Her entire life revolves around it. It's just a real sad shit, really pathetic trend that I've talked about before, but with coronavirus coming around now on the internet side of things, people are taking that and using that as a platform to try and gain some quick little attention through some truly just despicable garbage like Ava did. Anyway, that's about it. So yeah, today I want to talk about a popular trend on YouTube. I've actually touched on it before. It's those morning routine videos from rich people that are supposed to be like almost motivational, but usually are just used as a vessel to promote their newest product line that's coming out. So I want to talk about one in particular here that I think serves as a good example for all of them. This is the daily routine of a 24-year-old CEO. And just in case you didn't hear me, this is a 24-year-old CEO, and you best not forget it. This man, this 24-year-old CEO, is CEO of 5 companies. And out of the goodness of his heart, he's granting us permission to take a sneak peek into his day-to-day life. His near celestial existence. We, as spectators, get to come in and observe and learn from him. He's allowing us to suckle on his bosom. Nay, he is grabbing us by our unworthy skulls and placing it on his nipples to suckle. And believe it or not, we are truly blessed. He's giving us a sneak preview of his upcoming product lines.
One of my favorite ideas that I've ever heard was the thought of doing today what others aren't willing to do, so I can do tomorrow what they can't.
Meet Jose, the man your girlfriend is fucking in her dreams. Jose is a 24-year-old CEO, if you can believe that, and we're about to see what it's like to go on a date with him, because this is definitely not a fucking day-to-day routine, because he's shirtless half the time, and it feels like he's trying to get my dick out of my pants. I really feel like this video should have been what it's like to date a 24-year-old CEO. And spoiler alert, it looks like a fucking headache. This man is so full of cliches, and he just comes across as super disingenuous, especially when the majority of this is just centered around his new Essentials line of clothing or some shit like that.
One of my best wins in the morning is waking up at 5 a.m. In my opinion, it gives me a head start, allows me to outwork my competition and get more things done before it's even work hours. throw on my Essentials muscle tee, and I'm out.
Excuse me, did you catch that? His Essentials muscle tee? If you don't have that, you're not copping wins in the morning. You get up at 4 a.m., but if you don't have an Essentials muscle tee, you're fucking losing, baby. The competition's out there beating the shit out of you because they got Essentials muscles tee.
I hate running, and I hate morning workouts. I do both. This is a great way to callous the mind and start your day off with the win.
Jose just can't stop winning in the morning, baby! He's going for a morning jog. He's going for a morning workout. He doesn't touch on it in the video, but I'm sure while he's going for that jog, he's closing 7-figure deals on his laptop, so he's making use of that time. No time is going to waste, but he still probably finds time to help old ladies across the street, because you gotta cop those big W's, baby.
This is a great way to get my adrenaline pumping. Now that I'm awake, I'll hop in the shower. I prefer to use cold water. It's better than a cup of coffee. It wakes you up instantly, and it's actually good for your skin.
You can catch a sneak peek of the cameraman in the reflection there. Could be his brother, could just be an 18-year-old kid who was just looking for a quick buck, so posted an ad on Craigslist and Jose hit him up. Kid had no idea what he was in for. I wouldn't be surprised if Jose got totally nude for that shower shot. Cameraman was probably like, hey Jose, we're only doing torso up, you don't need to get naked. No, fuck that. Here's a CEO lesson for you. No half-assed measures. I'm going full cock out, even if it's not on camera.
As an entrepreneur, I own a lot of brands, 5 of them to be exact, each of them requiring a lot of time, attention, and care. Most would find just building one brand to be nearly impossible, so the thought of having 5 sounds insane.
When I heard him say that, I damn near shit my trousers. I couldn't believe it. I was blown back into my chair. 5 brands! It truly does sound impossible, and yet, thanks to the power of cold showers and an early morning jog, Jose is able to do it with ease.
But with good time management, I'm actually able to balance everything perfectly. Now it's time for lunch. Eating clean, this is something that I live by. I preach about it all the time. Health is wealth. If you want to perform right, you gotta feed your body with the proper fuel.
This is a truly riveting daily routine. He gets up, he jogs, he showers, and he eats. Why the fuck didn't I think of that? Shit, if only I had come up with these ingenious solutions to wealth, I could have 5 brands by now, god damn it. And now, frankly, I'm just mad that he shared the Krabby Patty secret formula with the world.
You see guys, your time, it's money, which means it's valuable. This is why I don't like to waste time, and instead I multitask, so while I eat, I like to do my tedious tasks, like answering emails.
What is this man? Nay, this god. He's able to eat and answer emails? Oh, Jesus Christ! Science said it couldn't be done! And yet Jose's proved him wrong yet again. As he said in the beginning of the video, do what can't be jerked off yesterday with what I can fuck today, or some fucking profound garbage like that. It's incredible. It's incredible, groundbreaking stuff. I looked into this because I got curious. This whole video is a promotional video for his Essential brand or whatever. This video alone, he claims to have generated $1 million worth of sales for his Essential brand. Now, I'm no 24-year-old 5-brand CEO or anything, but I can say with a high degree of certainty, you're not gonna get fucking rich by buying his Essential muscle tees. That's just not gonna happen. You're immediately doing it wrong. The video is supposed to teach you how to get wealthy, and you're immediately throwing fucking wealth away to make him wealthier. You've done the exact opposite of what you were trying to do by watching this motivational video. So if you bought Essential muscle tees thinking that you were gonna get Jose's life because you fucking did that, you're an idiot.
Now it's time for my evening workout. My brand image is everything, so keeping my body in shape is crucial. If that means hitting the weight room 6 times a week, so be it.
2 workouts in a single day? Jose, you've gone mad.
Now I like to focus on compound movements. Being that I was a scrawny, lanky kid just a few years ago, these help me pack on about 30 pounds of muscle. Now what that means for you is that whether you're overweight or scrawny yourself, you could do it too. There's no excuse.
Well, actually, there is an excuse, Jose. Not everyone is a super wealthy elite douchebag. The gym membership's pretty expensive for a lot of people, and compound lifts, a lot of them require access to weights that not everyone's going to be able to find for a cheap price for their own home gym. You know, you need bench press, for example, squat rack. These are things that not everyone has access to, unlike you and your fucking mansion here that you're probably renting.
Nobody else but you.
After the gym, this is my time to unwind.
More like behind. Could you have found a tighter pair of pants? I feel like I can see your asshole through these things. What are these, a size turbo small? Was this just the smallest pair they had available at Baby Gap?
This is my favorite part. I hop in the car and go for a long drive. Business is like a chess game. You always gotta be 3 moves ahead of your competition. So whether that's analyzing the market for new trends or a new business venture, going on these long drives allows me to think creatively and freely.
But only if you have a Lamborghini. If you don't have a Lamborghini, you have no right to be driving around on Jose's roads. Also, I don't really understand that. How the fuck is driving around aimlessly helping you in your business ventures? You are genuinely wasting time, which is one of the things you pledge never to do. It's not like you can get any work done while you're on the road except make idle calls every now and then at a stoplight, unless you're fucking texting while driving, which you shouldn't be. But anyway, this is a genuine waste of time by all definitions, just wildly, aimlessly wandering the roads doing fucking nothing.
At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, all the work has been put in, it's time to relax. This is when you let your mind at ease. And for everybody, it could be different, whether it's hanging with friends or reading a good book. For me, it's a good cocktail. Meet up with some friends and innately call it a night.
That's where his day comes to its incredible, exhilarating conclusion, and then he plugs Essential one more time. I gotta say, what a fucking boring day-to-day routine. This dude does less than a day than a professional high school gamer. Like, this dude's day consists of getting up early to jog, work out, shower, eat, answer a couple emails, work out, go on a long drive, and then get a cocktail and go to bed. When the fuck do you do anything interesting or productive for your business? You hype yourself up as this crazy fucking guru CEO, and your day-to-day activities are genuinely doing nothing. I mean, I felt like this was just something that was supposed to woo me over if I matched with you on Tinder or something. This didn't feel like anything of any substance, and of course, shamelessly plugging your brand, which allegedly worked for you, so congrats on that front. But this is totally useless if anyone's trying to be motivated by your day-to-day routine. The only thing this teaches them is, hey, maybe get up early and work out. The most generic advice anyone could ever give anyone. It's just a silly fucking trend of videos. I don't know why rich YouTubers always like to do these day-to-day motivational video activity things. Makes no sense to me. Doesn't help anyone, and it's just shamelessly there to promote whatever merch they're working on. Just some dumb shit, that's about it. So yeah. I think influencer is just a disgusting word. I feel like when you hear the word influencer, you should react the same way as when people hear the word moist, just uncomfortable and grossed out. When someone calls themselves an influencer, I immediately just think they're a self-absorbed douchebag, especially on Instagram. Like, when you hear someone claim, like, I'm an online Reddit influencer or powerhouse on Instagram influencing, it's basically just saying they're a professional narcissistic asshole. I also don't really know where the term influencer fits in. It's not like they're actually influencing shit, except for maybe the sales of Hydro Flasks and Raid Shadow Legends. Not that there's anything wrong with taking those sponsorship deals or anything like that, but I wouldn't necessarily call them some kind of marketing wizard just because 100 extra people signed up for a fucking water bottle after seeing their ass cheeks on Instagram. But anyway, let's see how Instagram influencers are handling the protests going on right now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I figured we'd start with the most popular one. This one right here, a woman borrows this man's drill to pretend like she's helping, just for a picture that she could post online. There's something about her, she reminds me of like a Borderlands character, an NPC, but without any of the personality. This one's actually kind of a unique case because it turns out this woman actually wears 2 different capes. She's quite the well-rounded superhero of narcissism. She's a self-proclaimed internet influencer as well as a reporter. Well, more specifically an intern reporter, an apprentice reporter, whatever they're called, a fucking Padawan reporter, I don't know. But she has since been fired because of this video. I've talked about it before, but clout chasing is really a disease. People will go so far to score internet points and attention, so far to stage a fucking, photo opportunity like this, trying to capitalize off of what's going on in the world right now. It's just despicable behavior. It just seems like some of these influencers have this insatiable appetite for internet points and internet attention and trying to make themselves seem like the best person the world has ever seen, like literally God's angel fallen down from heaven to post pictures of their ass on Instagram. So they'll take all these opportunities and try and make it all about them, which is just gross. And what's even worse about hers in particular is how shitty the picture looks. It doesn't even look convincing like she's doing a good deed and helping. It looks like she's actually just stolen this man's drill and he's surprised about it, and she's doing nothing. It'd be like if I took a picture with my car's hood up and a sledgehammer in my hand giving a thumbs up towards a camera. It doesn't look like I know what the fuck I'm doing, it just looks like a dumb photo. I can only imagine how much further she would have went if this clip didn't go viral, if no one was filming this. I wonder if she would have kept doing these fake good deeds, like in the next photo she posted the day after this one, she has a picture where she's giving a PlayStation 4 to a homeless man while smiling.
Her boyfriend take a picture of her in front of a Smash T-Mobile. Oh my god.
Barefoot Beth out here taking a very thought-provoking and powerful picture in front of a T-Mobile that had its shit absolutely blasted. It seems these Instagram influencers truly are making a statement and showing they care. I can already imagine the wonderful and moving caption to this photo she posted. 50,000 people used to shop here. Now, here's my ass. This one's actually kind of interesting. This looks like a scene right out of 101 Dalmatians with Cruella de Vil here taking a dumb fucking picture. One thing I've noticed about every single one of these is it's always some girl's boyfriend that's taking the picture, and I feel so bad for them because there's no way they actually want to do it. When they're looking through the phone and seeing what it's capturing, they have to be disgusted. There's no way their mind isn't registering it as a bad idea. There's no universe where they see that and be like, yep, she's right. This is up there with some of Marilyn Monroe's best work. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these influencers really are treating the protests like it's Coachella. They're just there to take photos and leave. Like this girl was just hiding out to the side like she was in the penalty box in hockey and then just hopped in there, got the photo, and got the fuck out. It's pretty sad shit, but unfortunately not surprising just given the nature of influencers. There's like 20 more of these videos that I've seen, but they're all just kind of the same thing, and yeah, that's really all I just wanted to talk about. That's about it. See ya. In the pursuit of clout, nothing is off limits. Even if someone is dead, that doesn't exclude them from being part of an epic YouTube video. That body will be filmed and paraded around for some views online. No price is too high for YouTubers to pay if it means views on their channel. You remember Daddy05, the channel where it was a family abusing their kids for views? Well, that's not exactly uncommon, I would say. There's a lot of really bad family content on the platform. Not all of it's bad. There is some like genuinely wholesome families. But one thing that I've always took issue with some of these channels is it feels like they use their kids as a prop for their own narcissism and just using their kids for views. I sometimes just get the impression the parents don't even view their kids as human beings, just these little piggy banks that are like a vessel for them to make money off of. And today we took a disturbing look behind the scenes of one of these family channels where the creator accidentally uploaded an unedited version of a video that she made. It was about heartbreak in the family, and in it she was using her son's crying as part of her thumbnail, trying to direct him while he was really having a very rough time. It's pretty fucking hard to look at. So just a fair warning there. And I have to say, it seems awful to be part of one of these families that records everything, even like the saddest moments of your life, and tries to use it for views. Like, imagine you're crying and your mom's like, okay, keep up that energy, keep crying. I'm gonna get the iPhone real quick. Okay, now say, I'm sad, super sad, but make sure to subscribe because it'll make me happy. You know, like that's a fucking nightmare. I'd rather be part of the Manson family than a family vlog channel. Like, it just seems horrible. Some of these families record even the saddest moments of your life because to them, that's money in the bank. And I think that shit's awful. I also think it's awful that some of you out there haven't subscribed to the Huge Charles channel. I'll make sure to put a link in the description below so you can check that out. That's some good old wholesome family fun.
Can't wait for her to bring her home and be part of our family. Put your head right here. Almost pray for us. We appreciate it. I love you guys. Bye. Come here. Come closer for the video. Come closer. Come closer. Come closer. Put your head right here. Closer. Closer. Down. Put your head down here. Act like you're crying. Really quick. I am crying. Go like this. No, Mom, I'm actually seriously crying. No, I know, but go like this for the video.
Imagine being this devoid of basic emotions, where you've completely thrown away humanity in the pursuit of your internet fame. Obviously, the kid is really crying. He even says, like, no, Mom, look, I'm actually crying. But she's like, oh, no, that's good. Yeah, no, keep pretending. Like, she can't even wrap her head around the idea that her kid might actually be emotional. And instead of turning off the camera to help her son, she's trying to use that to make a thumbnail.
Go like this, put one hand up, go like this. No, go like this. Put your hand like this. But let them see your mouth. Let them see your mouth.
Oh, Mom, I'm actually crying.
Look at me, look at me, look at me. Look at me, look at me.
I'm actually crying.
I know, look at me, look at me. Look at the camera, look at the camera.
Exquisite work, masterful directing here. She really captured the misery and trauma wonderfully in the thumbnail. No doubt, easy million views there. Do you think for the next one, perhaps, we can go to a funeral and line up the grieving family around the open casket, maybe stand the body up a little bit, and then they all just look really sad, maybe looking down a bit? I think she's got a great career here in Hollywood, no doubt. Very impressive work, for sure. Some people, I swear to God, would dig up the grave of their grandfather, get his corpse out, and fucking pour slime down his throat for like a slime challenge if it meant extra views on their channel. Like, there is nothing sacred. They will do anything for fucking views. Here she saw an opportunity like, oh, starts rubbing her hands together like a cartoon villain. How can I make the most amount of views off of this horrible situation? I know. Let's make sure that the audience can see my son is crying, and then I'll cry. But listen here, Junior. If we don't get more tears out of this, we're gonna fucking starve. Do you want that on your conscience? Then you'll have something to really cry about, because you'll be going hungry if this thumbnail isn't fucking sad enough. So you're gonna have to fucking cry more! Now! And then look at the camera, please. Okay, now come here. Okay, good. Alright, excellent. Obviously, she was made aware of her whoops-a-daisy here, the little chess blunder, pretty quickly. I think she deleted the video within 30 minutes. She then reposted it and then just took down the video altogether and addressed it as quickly as possible with this video where she talks about how disappointed she is in herself. I'll play a short clip from that.
We're very upset. We've been crying all day. It has been extremely scary. They don't know if she's gonna make it. Honestly, completely worn out, emotional, crying the whole day. I had Christian on my shoulder and I was like, here, come pose for the thumbnail with me after the video was done. And that was so disgusting of me. I should not have done that at all. We were both already so sad and upset and in such a vulnerable state today.
So the situation was their new puppy contracted parvo before they got the dog, so the dog wasn't doing super well, so the whole family was upset and she was emotional all day, and then she talks about how gross it was that she did this in the first place and left it in the video, and how disgusting the behavior was. It's not like there's anything she could have said to make the situation better or a way to justify that behavior. And she doesn't try to. I mean, like, how are you going to fucking spin that where you're like the hero? Like, no, you see, the reason I was trying to direct my kids crying for a thumbnail is actually because terrorists were holding the dog hostage and they demanded at least 1 million views on this video. So I had to do everything in my power to make it happen in order to save the dog's life. You know, like, there's nothing she could have done to justify anything in the video. All she could really say is that it was gross, it was stupid, and she's sorry. That is really all she could do in the situation. One thing that I would also like to mention is the fact that she keeps saying how emotional she was and that she was like really crying all day and just super emotional overall. I don't necessarily get that perspective from the short clip I watched, because it seems like she wasn't crying and it seems like she hadn't been crying. It looks like she hasn't cried since Jersey Shore got canceled. So I don't know if she necessarily was that bothered by it, or if like the entire day she had planned on making a video about the situation, so she went into like YouTuber mode where she wasn't allowing herself to be emotional on camera. I don't really know. But overall, there's just not a whole lot she could say or do here to make anything that much better. So she's just up front saying everyone was right, this was gross, this was stupid, and I'm sorry. She doesn't try and like spin this in any way like, no, you guys are wrong, this didn't happen that way. She's just up front like, yeah, this is fucking gross and disgusting. So, I mean, that's good at least that she admits that. But one thing that left a sour taste in my butthole, though, is that in the apology video, she also brings up the harassing DMs and shit that she's gotten. Now, of course, I never encourage harassment. This is also why I'm not putting her name anywhere in this video. I hate when people go out of their way to harass someone or send death threats or any fucking degenerate garbage like that. She's absolutely right to call those kind of things out. But why do it in the apology video? It kind of makes it feel like, okay, I fucked up, but you should also feel bad for me because as a result of this, I'm getting this kind of horrible stuff. So I just don't think this was the right time to talk about that. The focus of the video should have stayed on you owning up to the mistake. That it shouldn't have shifted to like, but I'm also a victim. I just don't think that was the right call there. In a comment, she also mentions that she'll no longer feature her son on her channel, because I'm assuming, the comments are turned off here, I'm assuming a lot of people had the same impression I did, where they felt that she was using her kid for views. And it's hard to really argue that when you have this footage here, where she is quite literally using her son for a more attention-grabbing thumbnail by trying to manipulate his misery for the audience. So I think that's also a good call to steer away from featuring your kids like that, especially if they might not want to. Like, it doesn't seem like the kid really wants to be in the thumbnail when he is crying, and he has to keep reiterating the point like, no, Mom, look, I'm actually crying, and then she still keeps trying to direct him. So I think her also saying that her son will no longer be used on her channel like that is a good thing. Overall, it's a fucking terrible situation, and it's hard to really take her at her word that this is like a one-time thing. Like, because now that you've seen behind the curtain here, now that you've seen how the sausage is made, as the expression goes, it's hard to really be like, oh, okay, I'll take her at her word that this has never happened before, where she's not, you know, using her kids or using horrible situations for the sake of views. The whole perspective is a bit baffling to me, where you'd have like this awful situation with the puppy and a family vlog channel's like, that's a good video, a crying video. And it's not the only channel to do that. I remember there was another channel only like a week or two ago, I'm not going to show anything from this at all, but it was a family vlog channel. They were going on this fucking multi-million-dollar vacation or some shit, but they arrived to the airport too late, so they were about to miss their flight. And the dad brings out the fucking camera and he films his children really sad, his wife really sad, and him being aggressive towards the employees that are telling them like, look, it is literally too late, you have arrived too late to get on this flight. And he makes this whole video just being rude to them and filming his family being sad. Like, what the fuck do you, that entitlement is wild. Like, what the fuck do you want them to do? Ground the plane? Like, no, the pilot's not allowed to take off. Fuck it, this family channel has 1 million subs, we have to allow them on, and give them first class, kick everyone else off the plane. Like, I don't know what they were expecting, they arrived too late. And B, what blows me away is that the dad would even think like, this is a video. My family is really upset, and I'm gonna be rude to these people. That is a video for the family channel, baby. Bang. Like, I just don't get it. And it's the same thing in this situation. Like, this puppy is in rough shape, and we're all very upset about it. That's a banger video. Let's all start crying on camera. I don't get it. It's astonishing. It really is. I don't really have words to describe it because I just don't understand why anyone would think that's a good idea. This situation was a really fucking gross one. Hopefully this really is the only time she's used her kid like this. Hopefully there's not anything awful going on behind the scenes like this. So yeah, that's about it. See ya. I know Thanksgiving's right around the corner, but I'm too excited. By golly, I tell ya, I can't wait, so I'm serving up the turkey early. So I hope you've brought your appetite, because here comes the choo-choo train open wide. I'm feeding you something very wacky today. This week, 2 Arizona school teachers lost their jobs after some of their OnlyFans content they were producing leaked. And it wasn't so much the existence of the OnlyFans itself, it was more so the fact that some of that content was filmed in the classroom that the woman teaches at. Her name is Samantha, and she was an 8th grade science teacher by day, but by night she was a penis professor. And she filmed videos with her husband where he would just fuck her in the classroom that she teaches at, just reducing a holy dojo of education to a simple cum dumpster. Now, in response to all of this blowing up, she's come forward with another video, but this time she's not getting her ass spread open, she's spreading her side of the situation. So, she has this video that explains why she did all of this, as well as going over how everything unfolded, and I'd like to share that with you all, as well as going a bit deeper about the situation, because it's maybe even a bit more than wacky. This is starting to teeter on the edge of being pure silliness, even, I dare say.
I created a content at the beginning of the summer in order to earn extra money on the side to help pay for our basic necessities that our salaries were no longer meeting.
So she starts by explaining that teacher salary, especially in Arizona, is dog shit. And you'll get no argument from me there. Teachers get paid in popsicle sticks, basically. I think their salary is laughable compared to the work they're expected to do and how miserable the job can be. You make more money boosting League of Legends accounts every other weekend than you do as a full-time teacher. It's fucking ridiculous. I think it's just sad. and her husband is also a teacher, so a 2-teacher salary isn't exactly like hitting the jackpot. That's not an infinite money cheat code or anything. So she says that her and her husband started to struggle with being able to meet the basic requirements for their family and their children, which is why she looked for alternative income methods and chose OnlyFans. But then the question still exists of why do it in the fucking classroom that you teach your students at? It makes no sense whatsoever.
I chose an anonymous meme as well as blocking the entire state of Arizona on my OnlyFans so that it wasn't accessible to anyone living in the state.
I didn't even know this was something you could do. I had no idea our technology was this advanced where you could just ban an entire state from checking out your OnlyFans. It makes sense that she tried this approach here, so that way no one in the immediate area would ever find it, but clearly something went awry. The technology must not be bulletproof because they still found it, and rather easily, it seems. Just listen to this. One student reportedly told his mother that his teacher was spread over his desk. What a crazy conversation that must have been. Just picture yourself being that kid. You're hanging out, sipping your apple juice, just a normal 8th grade day, and a friend of yours sends you a link to a video your teacher filmed and says, "Isn't that your science teacher, Miss Samantha?" So you click it, you open it, and there it is. No secrets left. Your teacher is being spread like butter on toast, and it's on your desk. You just sit there thinking to yourself, oh man, I did algebra on that desk. And then imagine going into school on Monday and coming right up to that desk, like you'd have nothing but like these war flashbacks, these visions of cheeks being clapped on your desk as a tear streams down your face. I'm also curious how many desks she was fucked on top of, because in another report someone said, "That was my friend's daughter's desk, and she is mortified over the situation." It really seems like no desk was safe in this situation here. And I have to wonder, did they like clean up after themselves or anything? Because they didn't set it up like it was a scene out of Dexter where he puts up like all of the, you know, sterile environment, like surgery operating room kind of shit. They just went in there raw and like in the actual classroom and fucked. Did they at least bring Clorox and wipe off the desks when they were done using it? Or did students then go into that classroom after the weekend and wonder why their desks smelt like asshole? This whole thing just doesn't make any sense. But you know what does make sense? How great my G Fuel flavor is. Divine Peach. Anyone that's tried it has had their lives improved for the better, I have no doubt about that. And now I'm happy to report that the cans are here and they're a GNC exclusive right now for stores. So if you want to find your closest GNC, there's a link in the description for that to pick up a can of Divine Peach. Now I've mentioned this on stream, but I'd like to mention it here as well. The caffeine content on my flavor is 140 milligrams as opposed to the standard 300 milligrams for other cans. And I'm really happy about that because that's the caffeine that I prefer. So I wanted to bring that to your attention as well. And there's also a sweepstakes going on right now for anyone who buys a can and takes a selfie of themselves dressed as me. You stand to win a G Fuel mini fridge or a 12-pack of Divine Peach.
The video that was created and advertised was made after contract hours on the weekend. No minors were ever present or involved in the videos.
I don't think anyone was ever trying to make the accusation that minors were present or somehow involved in the content, because that would be a whole different ballgame. This would be an entirely different conversation. That would be a massive, massive, massive crime. Now, what people are saying is even though minors weren't present, the fact that you're using their space for adult content is a problem, obviously. So although there's no kids there, like juniors not knocking on the door to the classroom, "Miss Samantha, I've got my extra credit homework. Oh, jeepers!" Like even though there's no kids actually there, the fact that you're fucking in their playground is an issue. You can't just go to a kid's space and film this kind of content. It's not okay. You can't just like venture on over to Chuck E. Cheese and get your back blown out in the ball pit, film it, and expect nothing to come from it, expect it to be all honky-dory. And again, why did you want to use the kids' space for your porn? Why? It's not like that was your only option. You could have done your OnlyFans anywhere else, like at home. Why did you take it and film fucking porn in the space that you teach children? It is so fucked up and weird. And also, I'm sure all of you have realized this by now, but after school hours and on weekend doesn't necessarily mean there's no kids on the campus. I remember growing up, there were always club activities and shit that would go on weekends. So it was still very possible that there were kids in the nearby vicinity. it doesn't mean that there was no kids ever even close to their situation. It just, luckily, none of the kids ever, like, walked in on this shit. The whole video also isn't helped by the fact that she's clearly reading something she wrote in Microsoft Word and is trying to, like, keep up with it. So she'll take these long pauses to scroll, and you can see sometimes she loses her place in the document. So it also comes across as very insincere since she is blatantly just reading it very monotone from her monitor. So I don't think that helped anything that she was saying here, to be honest.
I am already paying the consequence by losing my teaching certificate as well as losing the job that I loved most. I thoroughly enjoyed working with my coworkers, teaching my students science, and it brought joy to me every day. Looking back at the situation, I wholly regret creating the video in the classroom after school hours. But I felt trapped in my financial situation, and I felt this was the only way that my family would be able to survive.
Really? This was the only way, the only option? Having your husband give you the Big McThankies from McSpankies in the classroom you are a teacher of. That's the only way your family could survive? How? And why couldn't you just film yourself getting fucked by him at your house in the safety and comfort of your own house, in private, away from everyone else, and certainly away from the area that kids go to learn? Jesus Christ, if the whole idea was to sell a fantasy to perverts about a school teacher being fucked on the job or whatever, why not just set that up at your house? Just get a little desk, a TI-85 calculator, and a ruler, and then still have your husband give you the business there, away from actual schools. Like, it just seems like a no-brainer. So yeah, overall, a pretty wild and wacky situation. Again, I do understand teachers do not get a fair salary. Their pay is pathetic for what they do and how important teachers are. They're, like, probably one of the most important jobs, and yet they make no money from it, basically. So I do understand the financial struggle, but that doesn't excuse what Samantha and her husband did here. All of their actions fucking in the classroom that they teach kids at is despicable and sick. So it's no excuse for their actions, but I do understand that the teacher salary is terrible. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah, throughout my entire academic career, I got consistently decent grades because I did the bare minimum of just turning in assignments when they were due. But of course, I'd occasionally slip up, you know, I'm human, everyone makes mistakes. And in those situations, I always did what every cornered animal does. I lashed out, I showed my teeth, and I threw the Hail Mary. So I'd always try and weasel my way out or buy extra time through a little white lie, coming up with an excuse. I'd always try the classics like, "Hey professor, I'm sorry, my report's not ready today, I'm gonna need a little extra time. Last night, I found my brother lying face down in a pool of his own vomit. As you know, he struggles with alcoholism, and he was about to meet his maker, so I had to improvise a saline drip solution in order to save his life, and things just got away from me, and I ran out of time." You know, I just try it because why not? There's no reason not to at least try and come up with an excuse to get a little extra time out of the assignment. But you know what there's never an excuse for? Drunk driving. Yeah, you bet your sweet bippy, all of that was to say, I have no fucking respect for drunk drivers at all. I think it's inexcusable, I think it's unforgivable. Like, there's just never any justification for driving drunk. Especially not in today's world, where there's like Uber, Lyft, there's like 1,000 ways of just getting a ride home. Like, Jesus Christ, you could probably find someone on Craigslist that's giving piggyback rides out for $10. Like, there's just always a better way that doesn't involve driving drunk. And the reason I'm talking about that today is because a TikTok star named Amanda Caravala just lost her whole influencer career because a very embarrassing video has now hit the internet of her DUI that she received last year. It's fucking rough. I just saw a lot of people talking about it. I don't know the TikTok star, but it's apparently a pretty goofy video. So I wanted to at least see a little bit about it. It's nothing crazy. Okay, I'm still gonna give it a chance. This intro is going so hard for no reason. Makes me feel like I'm watching Miami Vice. What seems to be the problem, officer? How long are we just gonna stay? I mean, I think we can safely assume she's sleeping here. Maybe knock on the window. Are we timing her? Yeah, it looks like everything's okay here. Oh my god, wait, there's more police officers. Oh, you can't see it. It's behind my webcam. There's more police officers right here. Man, this whole block was popping off here. Damn. Everyone's catching the heat out here. I think we can establish that this is no condition to be driving in. She's missed a full cycle already. They might run if he wakes her up. That's a really good point that I didn't think about. That was actually a good point. So what's the proper protocol here? Slash her tires so she can't? Like, we're gonna have to wake her up eventually. We can't just let her sleep here all night. Oh. I see, so that was the play.
Whoa, whoa. Wake up! Put it in park!
Put the car in park!
Put
Damn.
the car in park!
She's like a zombie.
Police department, put the car in park!
Holy shit.
Wake up!
What is happening in there? This reminds me of the scene from the Resident Evil movie where there's that guy who says, "Don't open the door," right before he gets, like, his head blown off.
Come park over here.
Yeah, Amanda's having a real tough time here staying in this corporeal realm. Every time she starts dozing off, her jaw just falls to the floor like a Dementor about to suck out some happiness. It is like actually kind of disturbing to look at. I've been super drunk, like turbo intoxicated, and I can't recall any videos of me ever looking like that. Like, that is a different level where, like, your jaw muscles stop responding to you. So this could be more than just alcohol. Of course, I'm not there testing her blood or going over toxicology reports. I'm just speculating as a pea-brained fucking idiot observer over here. It just looks really weird that her jaw is doing its absolute best to escape her face. She starts looking like the monster from the Amnesia game. Man, this is rough. Holy shit, how long do we stay in this standoff?
Would you mind opening the door for me?
Break the window? I'm surprised they haven't.
I'll
Hey,
lock
there we
it.
go.
Excellent. There we go.
Oh,
Hey, police department.
Hey, what's going on?
Take your seatbelt off.
How fast was I going?
Know where you're at?
They're both, yeah, checking out the seats. I think you guys are like, shit, you know what I'm saying?
What?
Relax for a second.
What happened?
Do you know where you're at?
Yeah?
Where?
At the decision.
At the what?
I still live in.
At the what?
At the decision that.
Go step over here.
Hey, we're gonna go over here. Go over.
At the what? What did you... The Abin Simon? Holy shit. Damn, she is fucked up.
A bunch of cop cars.
Nice. Astute observation.
Alright, come over here. Hello.
Maybe she's sober.
What's your name? Amanda. Amanda, what's going on tonight?
He's talking to her like a dog.
Cop car. Yeah.
Yeah, that you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Me?
Yes. How much have you had to drink tonight? How much have you had to drink tonight?
Nothing.
Be honest.
What time is it?
3 o'clock.
Okay, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, how much have you had to drink?
3 o'clock. I've had 3 o'clock to drink tonight.
Okay. Alright, so my next question to you... Alright, man.
Can't argue with that,
Other
to be
questions?
fair. That was a pretty good
Anything that's
checkmate.
medically wrong with you? Are you diabetic?
How am I supposed to track your finger with just my eyes when my kids' cars are moving over here?
Okay, alright, so
For no
kids'
reason.
cars? Okay. Do you want to face this way?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is she seeing? My kids' cars? Is it like in Looney Tunes where when someone gets hit with a mallet over their head, they're seeing like stars and little Tweety birds flying around in circles? This is... What the fuck? Yeah, this is like beyond faded. No, I'm sorry for the mistake, ma'am. Please, continue on your way. Seems we were wrong.
No shit!
Oh boy.
No shit!
Now we've reached that stage of being drunk where it's just loud and angry. Well, she either got banned or doesn't have an account on here anymore. Now, Amanda Caravala wasn't like a super duper TikTok star, but she had almost 2 billion views on the platform before, I'm assuming, being removed from it, or maybe she got laughed off the platform once this video was released. I'm really not sure on the timeline there. But if you want a little more information on the case, this video is actually from 2021, and she pled guilty and was sentenced to 12 months probation and 6 days of community service. and then paid about $2,000 in fines. So overall, she got off pretty easy. Even though she wasn't involved in an accident or there were no victims, at least not that we know of, I still think that this is light sentencing, but of course it could be my own bias because of how much I despise the act of drunk driving. It's needlessly dangerous and endangers not only the driver's life, but anyone in their car and anyone in any car around them. It's fucking ridiculous. So she got off super easy. Like, I mean, goddamn. When they asked her how much she had to drink, her reply was 3 o'clock. She's had 3 o'clock to drink. Do you know how much that is? If you convert that into fluid ounces, that's like 5,000 beers. Like, that is an incredible amount of alcohol she's consumed. Like, her BAC must have been like a 10.0. Oh yeah, I also didn't show it in the video here, but I'll just explain it to you. Towards the end of her arrest, she kept asking for someone named Mike Davis to show up to the scene, as if she was like trying to summon Batman. Like, she repeatedly asks for some vigilante named Mike Davis who apparently works for that police department. And that got a big giggle out of me because I love to imagine like Mike Davis hears his name being called somewhere and he hops in his car and his cruiser, turns on the siren, scoots in sideways and gets out like an action movie hero and says, "All right, boys, I've got it from here. You're safe now, Amanda." Like, I just have to imagine, like, she must have known of someone loosely in the police department and just tried her best to, like, get out of this by dropping his name to no avail, still getting arrested. And then she makes a huge hoopla in the car on the way there. But yeah, I just wanted to show this because I think this is an instructive moment on how your entire online career can be undone with one horrible decision. And not only that, a decision like drunk driving could just straight up end your life. One bad decision like that could just straight up fucking kill you. That's not an exaggeration. That shit happens all the time. Fuck drunk driving. Don't do it. A little PSA. That's about it. See ya. Today I saw a video that perfectly demonstrates just how fixated people have become with social media, and just how ingrained in our DNA it is to post every second of every day online for validation from complete strangers. It's reaching a point where it's becoming like an obsession for a lot of people to post everything all the time. And I swear to God, drinking an entire gallon of mercury is less poisonous than spending an hour on Twitter. You could be boofing arsenic and it'd still be less detrimental to your overall health than just doom scrolling social media. It's getting out of hand, and the video that I'm about to show is a babysitter who gets in an argument with the father of the child that she's babysitting because the dad is upset that she posted a photo of that child on Instagram without telling him. And when he's confronting her about it, like, "Hey, can you take it down? I really don't like that you did that," she's fucking flabbergasted. She's dumbstruck. Her whole universe collapsed. It was like she had just seen a ghost. Like, aliens had just fucking invaded and blew her mind. The whole concept that this father didn't want pictures of their child posted online for strangers to look at blew her away. And she got extremely aggressive about it, even calling him a pedophile because he saw that she posted that.
Shouldn't be posting photographs of my children on Instagram.
She looks really cute in it.
She does look really cute, but why are you putting it on public? Anyone could be looking at her.
No one's going to think about, no, your address isn't on there, your phone number isn't on there. It's just her face.
This caption here is going insano style. "The parents I babysit for got annoyed I uploaded a picture of their child." Yeah, that sounds like a pretty reasonable thing to be annoyed about at the very least. The fact that she posted this herself, once again, is delusional. People film their worst moments and post them online thinking they're right and expecting people to pat them on the back about it like, "Wow, what a champion. You really showed that father that posting a photo of his daughter online was actually a good thing and he was stupid for thinking otherwise." She's just living in fantasy land here. Like, this is a load of dirty barnacles. She is 100% in the wrong and it's inarguable. It's totally understandable that the father would be upset. It is absolutely his choice whether or not photos of his child get shared online. It's not the babysitter's choice. There's no argument in her defense here. It's completely understandable why this father wouldn't want pictures of his child posted online without his knowledge. I completely respect anyone's decision not to post photos of their loved ones or their children or anything online. There's fucking weirdos out there. You don't know who's looking at that shit. It's not some kind of social obligation that you have to share everything from your life with the cyber world, the cyberspace. So it's just, you know, it's unnecessary, and if you don't want to partake in that shit, then don't. In fact, I encourage you not to. I don't think you need to be oversharing everything about your life online. Now, another thing I find very fascinating here is the babysitter says that she didn't share a phone number or address anything, and she's stunned that this is even a problem. She only shared a picture of his child. The child's face and everything is now out there in public, and that's not a big deal. Which is wild to think of how quickly this mentality has shifted. I remember when social media first started to pop off, first started to get gas in that fire, the general consensus, not just shared with the geriatric octogenarians, but even like my classmates and everything, was don't post too much shit about yourself online. Like, don't tell people your name on the internet. Don't put pictures of your face on the internet outside of like your tight MySpace group, because there's strange, creepy people out there, some fucking freaks, and you don't want them to have that information. There could be some bad actors. That has completely vanished from the general mindset. Nowadays, it's considered creepy if you're not sharing photos of your face and updates on your life all the time online. You must be some kind of socially anxious weenie, some loser.
It's my child.
It will go in 24 hours anyway. Why are you even following me?
Well, I follow loads of people, but that's not the point.
Well, you don't follow your babysitter. That's weird.
Well, I do follow my babysitter, and it's just as well I am.
One photo.
We're not going to pay you until you take that photo off.
So she was scrambling around in the dark and thinks she found a diamond here to use against this guy for ammo. Why are you following me on Instagram, You have something to hide, tough guy, you fucking creep? So she's 16 years old, and now this guy follows her on Instagram, so she's about to start accusing him of being a pedophile, some kind of low-life scumbag. Who follows their babysitter on Instagram? And I think that is so weak. I think that is an absolutely dogshit point she tries to make. There's a perfectly logical explanation for why the father would follow a babysitter on Twitter. This person is going to be home alone with their child. They want to make sure they didn't just hire Jeffrey fucking Dahmer or something. There's going to need to be some level of background checking, and what's the best way of doing that? Going to their social media, where they share absolutely everything. It's a good way of gauging if this person is even safe to be around your kid and can be trusted. Now, if this father was commenting on all of her Instagram posts and leaving weird emojis, obviously then we'd have a problem here. Then we'd have ourselves an EDP situation. But from everything in this video, that's not the case. He just follows her on Instagram and saw that she posted this photo of his child.
Well, I'll just stay here until you pay me then. What are you going to do about it?
Give me that phone now.
I'm not giving you my phone.
There's all sorts of freaks.
Loads of my friends do it that babysit.
Well, they shouldn't be doing it.
Why? It's literally just a photo.
Look, the north is full of Stop posting.
Well, yeah, you being one. Why are you following me? I'm a 16-year-old.
I'm not like that. So give me
trash. Complete trash. To say the father is a pedophile because now you're getting offended that he's upset at something you did wrong is beyond stupid. It's so fucking dumb. Now, him threatening to not pay her till she deletes the photo, I think is totally reasonable. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You have done something very much against what you are hired to do, and you won't be compensated until you just do the bare minimum of deleting the photo. It's a super simple request. You shouldn't have taken the photo or posted the photo without talking to the father first, so the least you can do is take it down and then receive your payment for this and wash your hands of the situation. It's just so easy, but she's making a big fuss about it, making a whole song and dance out of it.
that phone.
Well, why have you got Instagram in the first place? How old are you?
You shouldn't be even babysitting. You haven't got a DBS.
You hired me.
Didn't realize there was an age limit on Instagram. Well, like, she's just so lost in this sauce now. Oh, you're so weird. You have an Instagram. How old are you? Goofball, huh? You ancient fossil, stupid goober. You have an Instagram? You're going to jail. Hope you like going to the slammer, you fucking pedophile. Wait until I call up the police and tell them that a 45-year-old man has an Instagram, huh? Yeah, they might just come over here and execute you on the spot via firing squad for your pedophile crimes against humanity. Signing up for Instagram when you're 40-something years old. Despicable.
Are you joking?
I'm 16 years old. I'm still in school.
So you could be doing anything.
Well, you know me. I'm not like that.
I'm shocked. We're going to have to tell everyone that you're a bad babysitter. I can't believe I'm hearing
Well, I'll
this.
tell everyone that you follow me on Instagram, a 16-year-old girl. How's that going to work out for you?
Threatening to just call this guy a pedophile to society because he's refusing to pay you for something you did wrong. He's just very simply asking you to remove the photo. He's not even being, like, over-the-top aggressive or mean about the situation. Like, his only threat so far is, we're going to have to call you a bad babysitter. Like, that's something you say to your dog when you're disciplining them after they pee on the floor, like, bad dog, please don't do that again. I don't like cleaning up pee. Please, you know, just don't do it again. It's easy. You know, like, he's not even being like an asshole here. He's 100% in the right. He is completely justified in being annoyed and frustrated with her, and yet he's still going to pay her, assuming, of course, that she just takes down the photo, which is super easy. It's super simple. Like, everything she's doing is so over the top and downright criminal. To falsely accuse this guy of being a pedophile.
I don't know what to say. I'm shocked for words. All I want to do is, will you please just take that photograph off Instagram and we can move on from this. You could get your money. You could go home. Isabel can be safe.
Is that it then? Just take the photo down and that's it? You give me my money and I go?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Well, yeah, that's fine then.
Finally, a happy ending, a great, satisfying conclusion here. She gets paid for the babysitting job and they both go their separate ways. End of story. Until she posted it all online. For TikTok clout, I guess. She should have been feeling overwhelming embarrassment from this whole situation, and yet she felt pride that she'd be getting a lot of internet likes for it because she stood her ground against an unreasonable father or something, I guess. I don't even know what angle she was trying to go with here. She just looks really fucking awful here. She looks downright evil. To just blatantly, like, go on this tangent about how this guy's a pedophile because he followed her on Instagram is so crazy to me. The whole thing is just so wild. And I'm about to make a really obscure reference that I feel like a lot of people aren't going to pick up on or appreciate. But the father in this video really sounds like the Duck brothers from Courage the Cowardly Dog. They were only in like 1 or 2 episodes, but they're the ones that are like, "Stop laying eggs! We're Duck brothers!" Those guys. He sounds just like them. So I don't know if he's done voice acting in his past, but he is like extremely close to their voices. Has nothing to do with anything, I just wanted to get that out there before I forgot to mention it. But yeah, I think this is just a perfect demonstration for how distorted people's perception of reality has become. There is nothing wrong with not wanting your child's picture online, or your picture online, or anyone's picture online, or information about themselves. Privacy is still a good thing. Privacy is still a great thing. I don't know why privacy has been vilified all of a sudden. I think it's great. Keep things to yourself. You don't have to post shit online. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. That's it. See ya. There's no shortage of awful entitled influencers, but today I've got a real special goofball to show with all of you. His name is Icy Wyatt, and he was recently arrested for pistol whipping some guy during an incident of road rage, and now the body camera footage has just been released of the arrest, and he seems to be one of the most insufferable people I've ever seen in the content creator sphere. He's a TikTok star, a word used very loosely here. He has about 1 million followers there, but I'm pretty sure like half of that's gotta be bots or legitimate lobotomy victims because he gets no engagement and people just make fun of him there. So I don't know how that number even got so high to begin with. I assume it's just people that like shooting spitballs at him and giving him wedgies online because that's all he seems to be used for, just this little punching bag on TikTok for them to make fun of. And he's so proud of that.
This guy just got out of his car and pistol with me with a gun.
The calls continued to filter in.
Yeah, there's a guy driving around in a pink Mercedes. He almost just hit a lady with pushing a little stroller with some kids in the shopping center.
This fairy tale unfolds in the beautiful land of dreams that's near and dear to my heart, Florida. Florida's done it again with yet another banger. I'm sure you all just expected by default that this happened in Florida, and you're correct in that assumption. It did. Now, on the day of the road rage, a ton of 911 calls flooded in because there was a pink SUV that was driving recklessly, almost hitting a woman and her children, and eventually culminating with him hitting another man with the gun that he was waving around like it was some kind of fucking toy. Now, there is a video that exists showing him driving recklessly in this parking lot, though it cuts off before any of the pistol whipping stuff, but you can at least see the way that he handles his little clown mobile here. He drives like he's in GTA Online, but is also lagging. He is a shit driver. He almost wrecks, and he does almost hit someone in this video.
A video. This was after he
After he hit him?
Yes. He was chasing them inside the parking lot, like a crazy.
Good shit, Icy Wyatt. You just graduate from doofus school as valedictorian, you fucking idiot. Absolute piece of shit. Apparently, him and that truck had recently got into a bit of a tiff on the road where Icy Wyatt was accusing him of brake checking him because he recognized Icy Wyatt's car and wanted his attention. This guy is so fucking delusional that he thinks everyone in the world knows who he is because he's like the second coming of Christ. So he thought he got cut off and brake checked by that truck because it was a fan trying to get his attention. And eventually it ended up with this situation you just saw, and then it led further into Icy Wyatt pulling out a gun, threatening him, and then eventually just hitting him with the gun.
Hey, put the car in park. Put the car in park. Let's go, put it in park. All right, put both your hands out the window. Put your hands out the window. Put both of your hands out the window, kid. We're not fucking with you.
I don't know who I am.
Nope.
It's almost impressive how unlikable Wyatt is. He chose the one sentence that'll immediately make everyone in the world hate you. The cops are confronting him and he's like, you guys don't know who I am? I have 1 million followers on TikTok. That means I'm above the law. Put the guns down, guys. It's not a big deal. I can pistol whip whoever I want. I'm a TikTok superstar. You guys, oh, you must want autographs. Okay, I get it. Sorry. Wyatt is clearly suffering from terminal clout hunger. There is no cure. He's become delusional. He's in the final stages of it. He can no longer separate reality from fiction. He is trapped in this delusion, this fantasy land, where 1 million followers on TikTok means the whole world knows who you are. He holds himself up like he's Jesus Christ because he has 1 million followers, and the laws don't apply to him anymore. He's achieved a level that normal mortals can't get to because he has a small TikTok audience. 1 million followers is a ton, but his actual core audience is not 1 million. Like I said, nobody engages with this guy unless they're throwing tomatoes at him and booing him. It's like that episode of SpongeBob where the guy in the crowd goes, "Oh, brother, this guy stinks." That's Wyatt's whole life. What's up? You come up here to make fun of Icy Wyatt too? Hmm? I know, he's pathetic. I know.
Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car. Do it now. Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car.
Though Wyatt denies he has a gun in his vehicle, several witnesses allege that they saw him with one.
Where's his keys? Just they got keys or a fob.
Wyatt's lecturing the police like he's the substitute teacher in a rowdy classroom. Show some respect. I'm a TikTok star. Please, have some decency. I'm above you. It is infuriating. Everything Wyatt says is like the worst dialogue options in a video game that make you hate the fucking character you're playing as. He is actually finding all of the worst possible responses that would make even his biggest fans hate him. It's so impressive. It is a speedrun for the most unlikable TikTok star ever. So, he wasn't really cooperating with the officers. They do eventually tackle him. They get him with like a fucking Goldberg spear. And it was pretty satisfying to watch, I'm not gonna lie, because this guy's a fucking douchebag and deserved it. So I think that busted up his nose a little bit, which is why you'll see him with a bloody nose. And then he apparently denied having a gun, despite so many witnesses saying he did. And he eventually just gave them permission to search the car, and they immediately found the gun. It wasn't even a difficult scavenger hunt. The Easter Bunny would be disappointed. He did not hide the eggs well here. They found the gun the second they got to the car, basically.
I have something else to say about the incident.
I don't hit nobody.
Well, they're saying otherwise, and they described the gun and everything, and there was somebody else
So
that
my
was watching.
girlfriend can't be a witness too.
Was she with you?
Yes. I pulled the gun out to show them through the window, like, don't f with me, and they all went back in their car.
Yes, he came home after being attacked by 2 hillbilly crazy people in a truck
But he pistol whipped them over the top of their head.
because they attacked him. Okay. So what are you trying to do so far? Just like defend the hillbillies who got punched in the face with a gun?
Well, if they got pistol whipped with a gun, then they're victims.
His girlfriend heroically arrives at the scene. It's the 4th quarter. Icy Wyatt's down by quite a bit, but now his girlfriend is here to really help win the game for him. Except she's playing for the other team. She comes here and immediately confirms that Icy Whiny Wyatt was lying once again. Fucking weasel. She immediately validates the claims of the pistol whipping happening. She confirms that Wyatt did in fact hit them with his gun, something that Wyatt is denying having happened at all. She swooped in here and offered key evidence against her boyfriend Wyatt here. It was fucking poetic justice. She came in here and just told the truth, which is a real thorn in the side to Wyatt. Pistol whipping is no joke. That shit can be fatal. Like, that is very dangerous. But luckily for the victims of the assault here, Wyatt's got some wet noodles for arms. He's got the scrawniest little arms I've seen since Slender Man, so he wasn't able to generate enough force to, like, really hurt them, but it was enough to still cause a bit of damage to one of the victims, as I understand it. Now, his girlfriend does say that that truck was, like, speeding around them, so that's the attack she's referring to, I believe.
He's a victim of being attacked while driving. They were speeding in front of him. You guys not aware of, like, the full story?
We heard that there was some kind of a road rage incident that started it.
That's not really an attack, though. This isn't Twisted Metal. They didn't speed in front of him and start dropping spike trips and homing missiles out the back, firing fucking torpedoes at Wyatt and his vehicle. It sounds like it was an instance of them maybe cutting him off or speeding around him, and he took it personally and got really offended, and then went way hog wild with the whole thing, following them into that parking lot, getting reckless and crazy, hitting them with the gun, all that shit.
You can't take my phone.
Actually, by law, they are allowed to take his phone.
You can't take my phone. This is my possession, so now you're going to be a thief? Now you're going to be a thief.
You're under arrest. You're not allowed to have the phone, okay?
Wow.
Unfortunately, that was going too far for Wyatt. The good boy was about to go bad. He never envisioned a world without his phone in the palm of his hands. So when they took his phone, he was fucking flabbergasted. And now he's got a chip on his shoulder. He gets real unpleasant and even more obnoxious and annoying.
You don't see any problem with this. You don't see the problem that somebody with a bright pink car who is famous online gets with on the freeways all the time, and that's why I carry a gun. That is it. That is, you said legal was in Florida.
It is legal in Florida to have a gun in your car. There's nothing illegal about that.
So where can you prove, show me the video proof where I hit him with a gun?
There is video proof of the reckless driving and nearly hitting people in the parking lot, and the victim who got pistol whipped showed the injuries, and his girlfriend also confirmed the pistol whipping. So I'd say there's a high level of confidence behind the pistol whipping being the real story and Wyatt being full of shit, just a load of dirty barnacles. It's almost impossible not to laugh at Wyatt. In fact, after Wyatt got even more rowdy and rambunctious and insulting the officers, starting to kick them and shit, they started making fun of him too. They started calling him Joe Exotic. And when they were bringing him into the police station, they said, "Welcome, Tiger King." And that gave me a hearty giggle. I actually thought that was a pretty good one. Wyatt is just a fucking clown. So his statement here, he drives a bright pink SUV and people fuck with him all the time on the freeway because he's famous. So they recognize his car and mess with him while he's driving, which is why he carries a gun. How delusional do you have to be? He actually has a mental illness. He has main character syndrome. He believes that since he has a high number of followers on TikTok, everyone in the world knows him, and everyone in the world is out to get him, or, you know, try and get his attention. They're all vying for his attention, and they'll do anything to get it.
Did you guys actually get in an accident? I mean, he's got a big ass, like, knot on the back of his head. No, but there are independent witnesses. So, I mean, not everybody knows who you are.
It doesn't matter. I have 58 million followers, baby girl. Everybody who's been on TikTok or Instagram has seen who I am.
This is where I think his delusion is actually kind of dangerous and scary. So he obviously can't tell the truth under any circumstances, I guess. Fucking Wonder Woman's lasso of truth would be useless against this guy. I don't know if he's ever been honest about anything ever. Like, all he does is lie. He's full-blown Pinocchio here. He doesn't have 58 million followers, you absolute goober. You have 1 million followers on TikTok, which is your only platform, really. Very odd thing to lie about, but then it gets into what I consider a very scary territory where he's talking about how people make shit up about him all the time because he's so famous. Everyone on TikTok and Instagram has seen his face before. The dude must be trapped in like a perpetual genjutsu straight out of Naruto. He is in a paranoid delusion. Not everyone in the world knows who he is, and not everyone is out to get him. Holy shit.
I said you don't know that this guy knows who you are.
Oh, he so did.
Oh, did he say something?
When somebody swerving into my lane, brake checking me, wanting me to stop, wanting me to race my car, coming out the car, I know that's a fan.
One other thing that he's done multiple times throughout the conversation, and does many more throughout the conversations going forward, is he calls her baby girl. It's like making my skin crawl. It's so fucking cringe. He'll call her baby girl sometimes. It's really creepy. But I mean, clearly he is mentally unwell. Someone swerving into your lane is not a fan trying to get your attention. Holy shit.
Oh, okay. Nobody tased you, though. What? You didn't get tased. Okay, I am not gonna tase you. I'm just saying you didn't get tased. Because you just said so.
I actually think there's a good chance he's on drugs right now. He starts rambling about absolutely nothing, like tasing from out of nowhere. And then she's like, well, you didn't get tased and we're not gonna tase you. And then he took that like as a threat. So then he makes a threat back saying that if she tased him, he'd fuck her up and go to jail for the rest of his life. A, I don't think you could fuck up anyone. You would probably lose in a fight to an inflatable, wacky, arm-flailing tube man. You are not built for fighting. You would get your ass beat. You would get turned inside out. So I don't know why he's threatening physical violence against this woman. And I don't know how stupid you have to be to threaten physical violence against a police officer too. She was very, very patient with this guy, because she just brushed it off and laughed at him. I guess because he is so pathetic, all you can really do is laugh at someone that's this embarrassing of a person. But goddamn, like, he is so fucking dumb, it's unreal.
You're dumb, girl.
Am I?
You're real dumb. You might want to try modeling.
That definitely can't be that.
You definitely might want to try modeling. So you just,
I definitely can't do that.
This is what I'm talking about when he just goes off on these weird fucking tangents saying that she needs to do Molly so she can shut the fuck up. Like, what are you talking about, man? Like, I don't even think he's in the same dimension that the rest of the planet is in. He is all over the place. I really do think that the entire day he spent in like some kind of fucking meth-induced haze or some shit. He is actually just all over the place.
Where are you going?
Let me see you do it first then.
What?
You're not about to take $30,000, $40,000 worth of jewelry without me knowing exactly where it's going.
I'm gonna write, come on now. I don't.
You this to me the whole entire time in the car.
So nice to you.
No.
Things really popped off when they told him that he can't really take the jewelry into jail with him, so he put up a big fuss. He eventually started kicking the officers, and now he's facing a lot of charges. I think he goes to trial next month. So I'm really curious to see how that plays out, because for some reason he seems to believe that he's in the right, so he started threatening lawsuits against the officers after he was kicking them and shit. So very goofy situation here, very goofy guy, and I just had to talk about this. What an insufferable little asshole. So yeah, that's Icy Wyatt for you. Someone I'm sure none of you have ever heard of before and will most likely forget about very quickly, because he's just a forgettable little worm of a person. That's really about it. See ya.